Hi there, Laura J. Swan here. I am a women's transformational coach and a life and leadership coach and the founder of the Reclaim Your Power Pathway. And I'm so excited to be here today talking with Chong Lee, who has been a longtime client and participant in programs and in the Reclaim Your Power Pathway. And Chong Lee is an amazing woman, an amazing, beautiful, powerful woman in the world who is a women's lifestyle business expert. She is the host and founder of the Soul Sister Summit and the creator of the Sacred Success Program for Women. And I'm so honored that you're here to talk with me today about your experience in Reclaim Your Power and in the pathway and how it's impacted you. So thank you so much, Chong, for being here.
Thank you, Laura. It's an honor to be here to share what transformation and impact that you've had for me personally and for my family and my community because of my own inner changes that has rippled out. So it's amazing to be here. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that. There's a lot of people who are learning about Reclaim Your Power and are starting to get interested in, well, what could this really do for me? Like, how does this program work? So I'd love for you to share what was your experience in the Reclaim Your Power pathway and working with archetypes and working with reclaiming your power as a woman. How did that impact you? And as you said, your family and people around you.
So I knew nothing about archetypes. There was a calling within me that knew this is something that you need to do. So I just had that trust and I showed up and I stayed open. And from that, wow, I would say that it has completely transformed the way I think. And from that, it helps you act differently and actually become a different woman in a sense. However, it's the woman that you've always been all along. You just didn't activate those parts of you yet. So from your program, Laura, the sisterhood, the magic that was created from the support and the love from other women too, that is the reflection for you to see who you really are. So I came there as a woman that wasn't really tapped into myself completely. However, from that experience, I now see who I really am. And that is such a gift. And I would say any woman that has that calling in her heart for more, not even just more, but for that wholeness of being one with yourself and complete and knowing who you really are and having that feeling of everything is okay, and wherever you go, you can shine your light and be who you are. So it's very powerful. That was my experience, and from my family too as well. Just being more present as a mother and holding that space for other people in your life to like see them for who they are as well. Life-changing. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor and so wonderful to see your evolution and your embodiment of your power and really stepping into that over the time that we've worked together. It's been such a joy to see you really blossom into who you are, always have been. And, you know, I feel like this program gives women permission to be all of who they are. And that's why we work with archetypes, which may be for some people like, well, what the heck are archetypes, right? And you know, so what I'd like to say is just a very brief understanding that archetypes, the way we work with them is like a way of looking at different parts of ourselves that we all embody, right? We all have an inner queen, an inner lover, an inner maiden. And the way that translates is we all have a part of ourselves who is strong and confident. We may not feel in touch with her, but we all have that part of ourselves. We all have an inner sensual, sexual, pleasure-based part of ourselves that may not be activated. We may not be in touch with it, but she's in there and she's longing to be expressed. And then we all have, you know, a playful, joyful, inner child, fun part of ourselves. And if these pieces are not expressed, or if we're not connected to them, we may feel a sense of longing or a sense of incompletion, or not in our full power. And so I'm curious for you, in the archetype pathway, when you worked with all the different ones, which one stood out for you? Which one has really changed your life and that you've come to embody more in your life as a result of taking the Reclaim Your Power pathway?
Okay, so the one that was the most transformative was actually the one that was most edgiest for me, which was the lover archetype. And before diving into that work, I was really not in tune with my body. I didn't make my decisions based off of that. It was from my head on up. And anything that had to do with my body or being comfortable in it, I just like did not even think about that. Any sensuality, sexuality, I was very disconnected from that. And so it was the lover archetype that actually activated me and brought my wholeness together. Now I am now trusting my body. And I mean, I swam in the ocean naked for the first time, and that was so amazing. It felt so good for my body, and in the past I would not have even done that if I wasn't in my power. And I know that it's something that you don't need to be ashamed of or feel any guilt from, because your body knows like the truth. And so it's a wisdom that you can tap into instead of just living from your head on up. With that, you can go within your body and it will guide you to your dreams and your heart's desires.
Thank you for speaking to that. That's such an important part of the lover, because when people hear the lover, they think, oh, it only means sexuality. It means like, who am I as a sexual being? Which that's part of it, because our bodies are sensual, sexual. We are that as creatures, right? We have sexual desires, but we have desires in the whole spectrum of desires around how we want to feel and experience pleasure in life, from the way we taste food to the way we see color, to being in the lover archetype is really about presence in our physical being and learning to honor and respect and trust our bodies, which is so different than what we've been taught. Most women growing up in our culture, we've been taught that we should, make our bodies thinner and ignore our bodies and kind of like shut down what our bodies want, rather than trust and listen. And I've seen you do that. And it's been so beautiful to watch your transformation around moving from, as you have said, from here to deep into a body that is beautiful, perfect as it is, wise, and will guide you to what your deepest desires and pleasures are. So thank you for sharing that, and for sharing with all of our women listening a bit of your story and how it's impacted you. And I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Laura. You are so appreciated too. And I just wish for the women to understand how powerful you have been as a facilitator. You've been there from day one, and you've never left my side through all the ups and downs, through it all. And so it's a big yes, you need to go and join the program right now. You needed it yesterday. So
thank you so much. It's an honor and a joy. I love you dearly. And thank you to all of our women watching.